Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You are tuned into Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, Audible, and more. Because I'd like the widest possible range to splatter more hope and happiness on you. Yes, I am Dr. Marissa. Yes, I was introduced to Oprah as the Asian Oprah. And she looked at me, looked down, looked up, smiled, and said, "Nice pants." And it took everything for me not to say, "You want them?" But anyways, that's why I have that honorable moniker. And I am here because I'm on a mission. And it's called a Happy 88 mission. 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. So I have topics, I have discussions, I have guests, all to that end. And I also like to start your day with a little trivia that you can use for the rest of the day to put a smile on your face. And today is October the 18th. And today is it's International Legging Day. It's not just national, International Legging Day. So I guess if we went around the world, everybody would be wearing leggings today. I don't even know if I have a pair. I think yoga pants have replaced leggings for many of us. But so if you're already in your car on the way to work, when you get home, instead of changing into your PJs or sweats, get into some leggings to celebrate International Legging Day. And it is No Beard Day. Yay! Actually, I'm not a big fan of facial hair, so no beards, off. Celebrating National No Beard Day. National Clean Your Virtual Desktop Day. Who the heck came up with this stuff? Third Monday in October, clean my virtual desktop. How did they know that there was a virtual desktop? And if it's virtual, there's nothing to clean. Hello. But looking around me right now, you're not seeing it, but there's a lot to clean up. So maybe I'll follow that. And last but not least, this is a great excuse to have that chocolate cupcake that you've been eyeing or wanting to buy, but you can't because you think you're going to feel guilty. No guilt today. It is National Chocolate Cupcake Day. So you have my permission to go. Rumor has it that when you take a bite of a chocolate cupcake, the calories just disappear. Don't quote me, but that is today, October 18th. And I'm so delighted that today I have a wonderful interview after the bottom of the hour with two amazing people that I met at Secret Knock, who are both veterans, and they are so delightful and doing so much. They are definitely winners of Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award, because not only are they helping veterans with veteran green coffee and taking their fighting skills and putting it to a competition that fundraises, they are also providing work for veterans. So you'll want to stay tuned to the bottom of the hour with my interview with them. But when we come back, I have a question of the day for you. We haven't done those in a little bit. So I do have a question with an answer, of course. Even though the name of my show is Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It. I still do have a question and an answer that I try to follow 88% of the time. When we come back on Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Attack Your Life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere, including my YouTube channel. And if you free subscribe, you will get an alert every 8 a.m. when the new show drops that you can go and enjoy there at your leisure, as well as, I'm on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, and all those platforms. But if you want to watch and listen, go to my YouTube channel where there are almost 250,000 views, and you get my red carpet playlist as well with my interviews with Halle Berry, John Travolta, Quincy Jones, and more. And the show today is sponsored by a great organization that I've been part of for a number of years, and I wanted to give you a special invite. Those of you who are wondering, yes, film festival season is back on, and Newport Beach Film Festival is a place that I've gotten to interview, let's see, on the red carpet, Pierce Brosnan and his wife when they submitted Saving Paradise, a great documentary about the islands being poisoned, which is not so happy making, but there's solution in every problem, as well as the Chinese films. Like I've been able to introduce that for the last 4 or 5 years. Greg does a great job with the film festival, and there's parties galore. So here's the commercial. Please go register. And today's Asian Oprah giveaway, the first person to go to drmarissa.life and put in party with Dr. Marissa gets a free pair of tickets to the Chinese Spotlight Pacific Rim Gala, which includes both the movie and this amazing after party every year. It just keeps getting better. So that's the Newport Film Festival. Take a listen, and we'll see you there. The 22nd annual Newport Beach Film Festival is back to in-person screenings. Orange County's largest entertainment event will run from October 21st to October 28th. This prestigious multicultural event attracts over 58,000 attendees and screens over 350 films in 7 days. Join Dr. Marissa, yours truly, on October 27th as the Asian Oprah will be on the red carpet to introduce the highly anticipated 3-time Academy Award nominated Chinese Spotlight film, 1 Second. Celebrate diversity and art in cinema by being a part of the Newport Beach Film Festival and get your tickets at www.newportbeachfilmfest.com. That's www.newportbeachfilmfest.com. See you there. And as promised, it's the question of the day today. And I found this question in a group that I'm in on Facebook. So without naming names to protect the innocent and the guilty, I'll just read some of it and see what my answer will be. So here's the story. This has been happening to me lately in the dating game. I've been meeting people who don't seem to be that interested in me as a person. They don't ask me any questions about me. I ask them questions about them, and they love to talk about themselves. I just met one guy who actually thinks I'm handsome and has implied that he'd like to get romantic with me, but he hardly takes any interest in me as a person, asking me about my life. He's, though, very much open about talking about his life when I ask questions of him. It's kind of a turnoff when people don't show an interest in me while I ask a lot about them. Am I missing something here? So, dear missing something here, you definitely seem to be attracting people who are not that interested in you. So my first question to ask is, are you interested in you? Because we attract where we are. That's law of attraction. And so I'm chuckling because I went through this exact same thing, but it was quite the life-shattering moment I remember when I was married and I came home from a business trip and I walked in the room and he didn't even look up at me. I mean, talk about not interested. He did not look up to acknowledge I'd been gone maybe, 3 or 4 days, maybe even a week. The kids were at school and not even one look up from the TV. And I was pissed. And pissed is actually a very light word for how I was feeling. I was not happy at all. And so what did I do? I left, I slammed out, I stomped up the stairs into the bedroom, I dove under the covers, and I was so mad and I was just railing one more time. I don't know why I'm married. I don't know why I'm with him. I don't know why he doesn't love me or show me affection or pay attention to me or seem interested in me or ask me what I want or what I like and why, and this isn't right, and how dare he, and just on. And I just worked up a lather. I can remember that day as clear as a bell. And after I had, cried my drama mostly out, and it got really, really quiet in the room, really, really quiet. And all of a sudden, I heard a voice. Skies parted, thunder. And I literally heard this voice say, Marissa, do you listen to yourself? Do you attend to yourself? Do you value your opinion? Do you hear yourself? Do you soothe yourself? Do you treat yourself? Do you love yourself? Do you honor yourself? You're wanting this from someone else, but do you do this for you yourself? Drop the mic. Literally. That moment began a journey of understanding how I was looking for love in all the wrong places. And I'm not saying this for the person who wrote the question, because you may, you're probably doing a lot of work on yourself, but it triggered in me a memory of a very important thing that I do with my coaching clients. Most of the coaching people, most of the people that come to me for life balance coaching, I would say, have the dis-ease of self-hatred. Now, hate is a really strong word, and maybe I'm going to use it. Self-hatred and self-loathing, I find, are so dominant, especially in perfectionists who are harder on themselves than anybody else is. It's a very common, you don't like yourself. Okay, maybe not self-hatred, but self-not-likeness. You don't like yourself. And so what do you do when you don't like yourself? Well, you find someone to like you so that you can feel like you are liked or loved or lovable. And the truth for me, this is my BS, my belief system is when I can get to a place that I love myself 88% of the time, it's not all the time, but when I understand that I am lovable, loving, and loved 88% of the time, then getting in a dating game, getting in a relationship, getting in a non-hookup, whatever it is not based on me looking for someone to complete me. And I think, no thanks to Jerry Maguire, loved the movie, but that concept that you need someone to complete you has completely hurt individuals in their journey to self-love. And I'm not talking about egos. I'm not talking about, I'm so hot, I'm so fabulous. Not that. That's way extreme the other way. But I would say that most people are not in the self, I'm all that. Most people are in the less than half, which is I'm a piece of shiitake. I don't like myself. I don't think, I do doubt myself. When I get 99 compliments and one insult, my mind goes to that one insult. So that dis-ease with who I am is hurting ourselves, our ability to be in a relationship, because we don't have a good relationship with ourselves. And that was what was happening with me. I was looking to that marriage to complete me. I was looking for, I was actually going to the tractor for milk because I picked a man who was unable to love me. The same way my mom was unable to love me as a child because of her stuff. So it was so important for me, that moment. And if you're nodding your head, or if this is sounding familiar and you're not having much luck dating, or you're not having much luck in relationships, please ask yourself, can I love myself 88% of the time? And if you are not able to, if you can't answer the question, what do I want to do? Or what do I like? And what makes me happy? And what makes me smile? And what do I want to do? Instead of always asking, well, where do you want to go to dinner? Or what do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do I want to do? That healthy balance, that healthy place of loving yourself. That's the answer to how to find a date or match with someone who's going to ask you about you, is knowing that I can answer that about me first and foremost. All right. I hope that made some sense. I hope that you are absolutely going to love yourself a little more today. And if you don't love yourself, I do have a book called 8 Ways to Happiness from wherever you are. I don't always talk and do a commercial for it, but we're in a logical place. In fact, the Asian Oprah giveaway today is a free audiobook copy of this book. The first one to go to drmarissa.life and say, love myself, that's the key word, will get a copy audiobook of this book. Because I do want you to be happy 88% of the time. And I want you to claim your birthright of happiness, which is yours. All right. So don't forget, sign up for my talk that I'm doing for the STEAM Symposium. I'm honored to be part of this wonderful virtual event with thousands of educators in California and beyond. To register, you go to steamcalifornia.org so that you can save $80 if you use the promo code HAPPY88. So make sure it is October 21st to 23rd, which is next week. So don't miss it. That is steamcalifornia.org. Be edutained by so many cool people, including yours truly. When we come back, I've got the interview with Laura and Sergio, who are fabulous veterans who are doing so much good for veterans. When we come back on Take My Advice, I'm not using it, Get Balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, at the station that leaves no listener behind.
Tonight, we're wrapping up Women's History Month with a story about a woman whose mission is to spread happiness. Dr. Marissa Pei is a survivor of childhood trauma and a reformed tiger mom. She's an accomplished woman who has endured hardship, but she says she's also found a path to happiness.
I'm Dr. Marissa, and I'm making history in spreading happiness. I was born in a little town, a little German town in Canada. My parents came from China, and they wanted me to blend in as much as possible, so I was told, don't speak Chinese. So I learned actually to lie about who I was. People would say, are you Hawaiian? And I'd say, yes, because Chinese was just not a good thing to be. I had a tiger mom, and in an effort to motivate me, she would say that I was fat, that I was ugly, and that I was clumsy. To prove she was wrong, I started modeling, and I dropped 40 pounds in like less than a year, and unhealthy. I was constantly trying to prove that voice wrong.
And this is a show about hope and how to be happy.
So that began my own journey to shift from blaming to, wait a minute, there is a role in pain in life. And what I've realized is pain in life chisels us into more and more good, more and more expansion, and more beauty. Yes, now I am known as the Asian Oprah. And the first time someone called me that, I went, oh, whoa, way too big shoes to step into. One of my teachers is Michael Bernard Beckwith, and he's a very good friend of Oprah's, introduced me to Oprah as, this is the Asian Oprah. And I'm like, and she looked at me, and she looked down, she looked at me, smiled, and said, nice pants.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah, reporting live.
When I say this is Dr. Marissa reporting, also known as the Asian Oprah, it just immediately sets people at ease. They laugh. It's such an honor. Many of us say, I am my own worst critic. Nobody's harder on me than I am. And my response to that is, stop it. Why are you doing that to yourself? You have to be your biggest fan, because if you can't at the end of the day say, I did a good job, who is? We don't have to constantly be angry at the things that are wrong. Why don't we choose to be happy about things that are right? We have the choice. That's our muscle. And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Dr. Marissa says the road to happiness starts with your mind, and you should end your day by reminding yourself of 8 things you successfully accomplished.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned into Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News Radio, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Audible, Amazon Music, and more, because I want to splatter as much hope and happiness on you, because it's my mission, 88 million more happy people in the next 8 years. So I bring you topics and people who can help you, number one, hashtag be part of the change that you want to see and make you feel better by balancing out all the bad news that's out there with good news, people and organizations that are doing good on the planet. And today is no exception. I am so delighted to have this couple. They're not a couple, but they are a couple that are working together that I met at Secret Knock on location. And so I have them streaming in live from an event that they're doing right now, and to tell you about other events that they're doing and who they are and what they want. So you know the drill. I don't have an answering. I don't have a question. Wait, I don't have an answering machine. I have a questioning machine. And when you call me, it says, who are you and what do you want? So who are you and what do you want? And I'm going to go to Laura first this time so we can make sure we get your sound. Laura, who are you and what do you want?
Hi, my name is Laura Vu with Veteran Green Coffee. I want to make the world become a better place. And with good coffee for good cause, we can create a funding need for helping non-profit organizations support veterans and family to create more funding gap for what they need and help veterans back to work. Good coffee for good cause. Be happy and take Veteran Green Coffee to be the most beloved American family household coffee. Thank you so much for having us today. Cheers.
Of course. And your partner in crime or non-crime?
My name is Sergio Santoro. Of course, I'm Laura's business partner. I'm also her business partner at Veterans Green Coffee, but I also am the president of a company called Combat Pugilist. So the Combat Pugilist is an up-and-coming combat sport where we integrate any style of martial arts that you practiced in with the pugil stick that we used in the service, right? So I'm a retired Marine. We use the pugil stick in recruit training. And then so it's exciting, it's family-oriented, but it's much more than that. It's purpose-driven and it's mission-driven, right? Contestants in any one of our divisions can win some money, can win a belt, some bragging rights, but more importantly, they select a veteran nonprofit that's vetted, and if they win, that veteran nonprofit gets $22,000. Why $22,000? Well, that signifies the 22 and sometimes more veterans that we lose to suicide in this country daily, right? We want it to be a catalyst for, we help each other. We are our brothers and sisters keeper. That's our oath in the service. We, as a retired Marine, myself and Laura being Army, and I would be remiss as a Marine and as a partner to mention Mr. Michael Malat, and he is the visionary and CEO of everything that we're doing. This was his vision and his plan the whole time. I was fortunate to run into him and Laura, and we've been working together for over 3 years. And when he told me about this value proposition, about everything he's putting together, whether it's Veterans Green Coffee, whether it's Combat Pugilist to help veterans create opportunities, extend a helping hand, creating an environment where we help each other. We understand some of the hardships that other veterans and military members and families are going through. I had to be a part of it.
What I love about your work and your product, one, is that you're both veterans. And so thank you for your service. And number two, this is a business. This is not a we're just going to what's that, feed you fish, right? We're actually teaching people how to feed fish. It's not a handout. It is an actual product. It's a good product. I'm expecting my coffee, Laura, very soon to have that in the morning. And then, taking combat, which you're familiar with, it's part of your job, and making it into a fundraising type of activity with the Combat Pugilist. I think that's really amazing. So I absolutely support you in what you're doing. I know that you do events. So Laura, tell me, you're having an event at the end of this week, I think.
Yes, we do have an event coming on October 23rd in Kinamesa, San Diego at National University campus to do electric recycling and coffee fundraising campaigns to support veterans back to work, to give veterans more opportunity to learn the skill that they can do better to perform their job. So training at our facility in San Marcos. So come to visit us at National University Lightweight campus in Kinamesa, San Diego on October 23rd. Purchase a backup coffee item and drop the electric waste for recycling properly and support veterans back to work. Together, we can do much more. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I would also like to add to, what my partner Laura just said. National University is our alma mater. She got a degree from there. I got my bachelor's in information technology. It is a veteran-friendly organization. It was no surprise to us as a company that they accepted us as partners to collect their immediate community's electronic waste. If anybody's familiar with National University and the footprint they have in San Diego, especially their Spectrum campus in San Diego is immense, and they went out of their way, and we are proud to be partnered with an organization that supports veterans, supports adult education. The value proposition is there between our organizations. So I'd like to just give a shout out to National University.
Absolutely.
There's a nice lady there. Her name is Carla, and she made us happen. She pushed it through. She advocated for us with the leadership. And again, it's this Saturday, the 23rd, from 8 to 2 p.m. National University, the Spectrum campus, will be collecting the community's e-waste, as well as having our Veterans Green Coffee available for purchase, which, as you know, Dr. Marissa, supports our mission of creating work for veterans and their families.
So just going back on your take, you're both veterans. You both have been, in training. You both have seen what it's like. You've experienced life as a veteran. What is the crux of the difficulty that veterans experience? Let me put it that way, experience coming back. Because the mental health awareness is so important. And then secondly, what can we do? What can people do to better support our veterans? Obviously, buy the coffee. Obviously, go and, if you're a fighter, go to the Combat Pugilist. Is that a website, combatpugilist.com?
It's thank you, Dr. Mercer. It's www.combatpugilist.com. And for Veterans Green Coffee, it's www.veteransgreencoffee.com.
Yeah, and just, I know you can't speak on behalf of all veterans, but just your experience, those two questions, if you could answer.
I'll give you a little bit of my background. I spent 20 years in the Marine Corps. My wife's also a retired Marine. So we have a very, very exclusive take on what a military family is, right? Because we're both active duty. So I'll speak on behalf of my experience. And, the service allowed me to further my education. Fortunately, I had the opportunity to finish my doctorate in business. I got a DBA. So the alignment between what we're doing here as an organization, between Combat Pugilist and Veterans Green Coffee, fits right into what I wanted to do. And ironically enough, when I met Mr. Michael Malott, who's the CEO, and then Laura, who's my partner, I had already done my dissertation on the opportunities that, and the unfortunate situation and hardships that veterans have in this country getting work from the perspective of higher education, right? Whether it's for-profit or non-profit. So I felt that the connection was divine, right? It was more than, I don't believe in coincidence, right?
I call it accidental, not accidental.
Exactly. And why do some veterans have problems transitioning? From my experience, we are trained and taught to be self-sufficient. We are trained as a service, as an organization, it decentralized the leadership, right? And I again, as a country, we have to remember that we're just a reflection of society. Some of us come from all walks of life. Some of us have different hardships, single family homes, whatever you would find in American society, you find it in the service. So, we have to work around that situation and still be a good Marine, still be a good soldier, still be a good sailor. So the component and the stress level there is, it's at a level to where a lot of people aren't used to. Now, take that and, the amalgamation of the stress around a deployment, the stress around service, the stress around being good at your job, understanding your military occupational specialty, and what it takes to be proficient in your job. And then whether you stay in for 4 years or 20 years, you get so wrapped up into being this good service member that the last thing you think of is taking care of yourself. Now, I will say, I'll speak on behalf of the Marine Corps, the transition services that I went through, that I experienced, were good. They were sufficient and they were robust enough. But at the end of the day, the service member has to, one, be responsible for himself and be responsible for their destiny. And one thing that I saw, Dr. Marissa, is, there's a pride component there too, that, look, somebody is not going to knock on your door to fix stuff for you. Ask for help if you need it. We've been taught to be reliant and self-sufficient.
Yeah, that's a very important thing that I don't think, I didn't make that connection until you just said that.
Thank you, Dr. Mercer. We really have to look at it from a perspective of, look, asking for help isn't weakness. Asking for help isn't because you're not smart. Nobody has a lock on great ideas. Nobody does anything alone in this world, whether you believe it or not. We all need somebody, whether it's
absolutely,
whether it's somebody you meet in the street or have a conversation like we are having on your show,
Yeah. And that's what I love, that you not only are fundraising on behalf of the company, both the coffee and the pugilist. You're also providing jobs specifically for veterans. And I think the more we have that kind of support, specific job openings for veterans, I think that would also help. No?
Exactly. And it's one thing that why I think what we're doing is very important, and what Michael Malott started is very effective and transformative, is that, as veterans, we don't want a handout. We want equitable participation, and we want an opportunity to be looked at under the same umbrella and with the same rigor that other organizations are looked at in other companies. Nobody wants a handout. We don't want that. We're proficient in what we're doing, and we want to be very, very, very deliberate in making people understand that we do hire veterans and their family members. However, we do have civilian supporters as employees that work in our organization. So we're not exclusive just to veterans and their family members. That just happens to be our mission.
Right.
Because I don't think you would run into too many families in this country that don't have somebody serving, whether it's a cousin, an uncle, a mom or dad, a grandfather, a great grandfather. I mean, that's what was built on, sacrifice. So we want equal representation. No veteran or military member wants a handout. We want the same opportunities that everybody else. And we're willing to hold each other to that same standard in this company. And what Michael Malott's doing, I'm doing, and Laura's doing. What you expect of others, expect of yourself first. When I get up in the morning, I'm not trying to be a better Laura Vu. I'm trying to be a better Sergio Santoro. And if we work on ourselves and we disclose and we humble ourselves and go, look, I don't have the answers to every question. I'm going to take that help. I'm going to ask for help. We'll be that much further. And I think that amalgamation of what I just said is why so many veterans and military members have such hardships. In my experience.
Right. Laura, do you have a take on that?
For me, my own thinking that is when I graduated from National University with my higher education in public health or health promotions, that chronic disease prevention, I did education for how to promote a better health, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And then met with my business partner. I shift my passion into helping veterans because myself went through the path that I believe that every human being could feel the same effects, or some feel more, some feel less. That is chronic pain from service related. We all sacrifice ourselves for what is bigger cost than one person. So I wanted something bigger than myself. So I joined my business partner to work on veteran coffee and come back to Swiss. My focus more on veteran coffee to promote the coffee brand, come from the nature of what Mother Earth gives to us, and then what we're consuming would be good for our body. And for the good cause, our good cause here is create jobs for veterans and family. Myself being employed by Veteran Coffee, and with the background I have from health promotions, and also the passion that I'm having with, we can make a difference from serving our coffee and create more jobs for veterans. Either the veterans stay with us through the training, and then we'll find somewhere else with better pay or higher skill. The transitioning is being there for them when they need someone. Cannot do all by ourselves. Without sale, without the coffee being purchased or consumed, there would be no more job to create for veterans. Myself with the background in the healthcare, I can find job anywhere. But it's not about me anymore. It's about other veterans, other service member. When we get out there, and we do need to fight for the positions to continue to sustainable, provide income for family, himself or herself. So that's why Veteran Coffee was created for create job of the battlefield for veteran and family. Help us to create more opportunity for veterans. We need communities, we need people, we need anyone believe that giving back will have a better taste also. So that's what we are here for Veteran Coffee.
And your coffee is special in the way that it is environmentally friendly, I believe, as well as sustainable growth, as well as special flavoring. I'm trying to give your coffee some commercial here, but I know that you had mentioned that there's something special about it. So
Thank you so much for thinking about that too, because the two things actually Veteran Coffee doing right now coincidentally happen is number one is help to support San Diego local small business that every batches was roasted to perfection for medium roasted. What it stands for is each coffee come from different origins of where the coffee bean grows, have a different level of caffeine. So we don't use a intonation of any other flavor, but we're using the standards of medium roasted, and they will help the coffee bean itself to have a chance to providing caffeine level by where it come from, and also help the consumer receive the amount of caffeine by their selection of choice. So we have a roasters in San Diego, crafted roasted coffee batches ready to roast by the water. And also we have a coffee bean that naturals of caffeine level come from where it's come from, not by intonation of over roasted or over burn or flavors. So we have also sweet water decaf is every single coffee bean had to go through sweet water decaf process. What means they traveled to Canada, invented by in 1980, and Canadian bought the technology. So every single bean had to travel to Canada, go through the sweet water decaf. There is no chemical in the processing to get decaffeinated out. So that's a very healthy way of consume decaf. So
that's
that
great.
coffee stand by that too is a good coffee also.
Great. Great. Um, we're almost out of time. So I'm going to ask you the last question I usually ask my guests, and that is to who and what are you most grateful for? So, Sergio?
I'm grateful to be part of an organization like everything that we're doing falls under the umbrella of Veterans Green Projects Initiative, right? Whether it's the combat pugilist, whether it's the coffee, whether it's the universal electronic recycling arm. I'm grateful that I have partners like Michael Malat and Laura Vu, amongst others, other partners that we have. We just want to, it's purpose driven, not to take anything away from people that just go to work and sit, in a cubicle behind a desk and make an honest living. That's fine. I like the fact that what you said earlier, Dr. Marissa, is not only are we the proverbial, giving them fish, we're teaching them how to fish. And like Laura said, I think it's very important, whether you decide to stay with our organization for a month, a year, 3 years, 4 years, it's there. We understand each other. We for the most part, as a company, the leaders in it, we've been there, done that collectively. And when you ask me what I want, I want us to grow so we could provide really good paying jobs in the coffee industry to our employees, whether it's roasting, whether it's bagging, distributing, logistics. For the combat pugilist, as the president, I can speak for myself, my partner Laura, and Michael Malat, who is the visionary and the creator of it. That instead of one of our champions for a belt division giving away 22,000, I want to be able for them to give away 222,000, 22 million, right? Signifying the unfortunate suicide incidents that our service members go through daily, but helping. Making an impactful contribution to society and giving more than we take.
Absolutely.
Ball forward as humans and as veterans and undo some of these situations that are caused by us.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. Laura?
I'm grateful because of having time today to talk to you. So for today, and then being here at the tournament to support the good cause, So I'm grateful for those people who extended their hand and arm to support our missions. I'm grateful to have my family believe in me and give me opportunities to come and to challenge myself into the industrials that is already saturated, but our coffee is just not a good, just not just a coffee. It's a good coffee for good cause. So I'm grateful that to have my business partner, that I have a good team, and I'm grateful that I have a people like you, Dr. Marissa, to give us an opportunity so we can help other veterans more. I'm grateful
Absolutely.
become a better place by each of us believe in ourselves and we reach out to each other for help, for doing better together.
Beautiful. And, for those of you who've tuned in and you're wondering who I'm talking to, I want to make a special note here that Laura, if you notice, she has an accent. If you are anyone that knows anyone who has the BS belief system that Asian women are, to be in this whole Asian hate. I want to just point out to you that my Asian sister here, Laura, I believe your heritage is from Vietnam originally. Is that correct? Okay,
Yes.
and I'm Chinese, with a dash of Mongolian, so don't piss me off. But we're in this country. Not only is she an American who's, a veteran, she's now using her life energy and work and purpose and passion to help veterans when they return, jobs, sustainable organization. I mean, I hope that anyone who might still be stupid enough to think that Asian women should go home have just been put in their place. And I wasn't planning on saying this, but it occurred to me as you were talking that this intolerance and prejudice and discrimination against Asians, especially Asian women, is so wrong. And I hope that if you know anybody who is still there, that you put this interview in front of them and say, you really want to tell Laura Vu to go home when she's doing so much with her life to help American veterans. So there. And for that and so much more and what you're doing, Sergio, I'm giving you both Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award, which I don't give to everyone. So we are out of time, but thank you so much for coming on board here and talking to me about veteransgreencoffee.com that you can go and support, get your coffee. Almost everybody drinks coffee. And then if you're a fighter, go enter the combatpugilist.com and look for Sergio and get a belt. And so you can donate $22,000 to $22 million to an organization that really is #BeTheChange. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live from my living room, asking you to have the best day ever and to go and support these two amazing people. Peace in. You ready? You remember how to do this? Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And that's it for today's fabulous episode of Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.